was a essay award winner for this Martin Luther King Jr. citywide contest. And so I had my article published in the Milwaukee Community Journal when I was a 8th grader. And I knew at that point in time I wanted to be a journalist. So I went to John Marshall High School. I had a journalism broadcasting specialty. I was able to land a high school internship at the Milwaukee Sentinel. So that put me on a path at a very early age to becoming a journalist. So just with Marquette being right down the street from the newspaper, it was a perfect combination for me.
I was working at the Marquette Tribune as a reporter, and I eventually became the first African-American editor of the Tribune during its entire history. And I believe, unless I'm proven correctly, that I'm the first person of color to edit the Tribune. And someone would say, well, why is that a big deal? Well, when I came to Marquette in the fall of '85, that was one of my goals, was to have someone on the wall where they had the editor's pictures that looked like me and represented a group that was underrepresented. And certainly at the Tribune, because Marquette's not as diverse as it could be, it was nice to see a person of color in that position of power to help and to empower and to influence.
I do believe greatly in diversity. Diversity helps you see things a bit differently. And in my reporting, especially on African American issues, what I try to do is I try to share in that African American experience, which there are many different African American experiences. Just like there are different Hispanic experiences, there's different white experiences. Depending on who you are, you have different experiences, but what I try to do is give that slice of what that life is like.
I'm a human being. I'm an African American first. I had no choice. I chose to be a journalist. I've gone for interviews and someone would ask me a question such as, are you a black journalist or are you a journalist? And I would say, I am black. And that because who I am, it translates to what I'm interested in, what gets covered in the paper, how I perceive how things are covered, and how I try to make sure there's balance, not just for African Americans, but for those who are underserved and sometimes unappreciated.
Try to find out how you can always make something better. So usually that's what I do with my columns. After I write a column, one thing I like to do is like a week later, when I look at it, I try to figure out, okay, I could have did this better, or I could have made this a bit stronger, and I just keep that in mind for my next piece.
Marquette's experience was so transformational because I think that the foundation is set on ethics and integrity, and that's always been the hallmark in my career.